Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. This lecture is about behavioristic approach to learning with reference to linguistics, especially semantics. In this lecture, we are going to discuss the opinions of different behavioristic scholars that how this approach is employed while learning a language. Behaviorist approach. First of all, behavior is composed of reactions and movements that an organism gives and does in a certain situation. The term behavior is mostly used for actions that can be observed from outside. Behaviorist learning approach mostly focuses on how behaviors are acquired. Behaviorist approach claims that learning can develop by means of establishing a connection between stimulus and behavior, and that any behavior can be changed through reinforcement. Behaviorists address learning as a mechanic process and give particular importance to objectivity. According to behaviorists, people are not good or bad from birth. Experiences and environment constitute a human's personality. According to them, human brain can be compared to a black box. Neither can we know what is going on in this black box, nor do we need to know it. What is important is not what is happening in this black box, but what is important is what goes in this black box as an input and what comes out of it as output. Outputs are objective, observable, and measurable. Inputs and outputs can be adjusted, arranged, and controlled. What is important is not the senses of a person, but the reflection of them. The pioneers of behaviorist approach are I. Pavlov, J. B. Watson, E. L. Thorndike, E. R. Guthrie, and B. F. Skinner. History of behaviorist approach. By the early 20th century, the science of psychology has had important turnouts. 20 to 30 years after Wundt established the first psychology laboratory. Of all these turnouts, the method of introspection is the leading one. Wundt and his followers thought that the subjects such as conscience and feelings expected to be studied by psychology could be studied just by introspection, and they did not consider it risky to use introspection as a scientific method. Psychology can use introspection as a scientific method since it deals with inner lives of people just as sciences about outer world use external observation as a scientific method. However, many have considered objectivity and reliability of introspection as a real problem. Another development in those years occurred in the world of science. Physical sciences made a great progress in those years, and especially physics changed the world of science fully. Moreover, the philosophical tradition behind physics constituted the base of people's questioning most of the things. Another development in the early 20th century was that functionalism, which was on the rise within the scope of psychology. Some phenomena, such as conscience, which were accepted to be a structure before started to be accepted as a process helping to adapt to the environment. Doubtless to say, Darwin's evolutionary theory also influenced this idea. Darwin's ideas about living beings that had to adapt to the environment in which they were living also made tremendous impact on psychology. Another development that can be evaluated in this context is the study of animal psychology. Animal psychological situations turned into a research subject under the influence of Darwin. It was thought that animals had some qualities such as conscience as well as perception distinguishing. An article, namely Psychology Through the Eyes of Behaviorists, written by J. B. Watson in 1913, in such a positivist environment was revolutionary. In his article, which changed both the methods and subjects of psychology, Watson stated that it was not scientific for psychologists to deal with unobservable phenomena such as conscience or thought, and that science had to deal with observable behaviors. Doubtless to say, Watson's these ideas have a background. In other words, Watson did not suddenly felt it necessary to boom like this. Watson could evaluate the spirit of time well and could read the developments well. Although some other important names of behaviorist approach such as Thorndike and Pavlov displayed some manners that could be included in behaviorist approaches before. Watson's article is accepted as the birth of behaviorist approach. The period that started with Watson's article is called as Watson's behaviorism, and it is accepted to last until 1930. The second phase, which comprises the studies of Edward Tolman, Edwin Guthrie, Thor Hull, and B. F. Skinner, is called as New Behaviorism, and it lasted until 1960s. In this period, behaviorists claimed that the base of psychology was composed of studies about learning. Behaviors could be explained by principles of conditioning, and psychology had to comply with the principle of functionalism, and that a concept that could not be defined functionally could not be studied either. The third phase is the period that has been lasting since 1960, and it is called as New Behaviorism or Social Behaviorism. The pioneers of this phase are Albert Bandura and Julian Rotter. Cognitive elements were added to behaviorism in this period. Behaviorists of this period think that it is not true for behaviorism to deny mental and cognitive processes. Even Bandura named his theory social behaviorism first and then replaced this name with social cognitive theory, while Rotter called his theory social learning theory.